Hey, good weekend to you. Welcome to Leading Edge. I'm Jerry Anderson. Good to have you folks along. So, would-be state lawmakers, the folks who represent you and me in the Ohio House, the Ohio Senate, have had to submit their paperwork to do so, to represent the residents in their House and their Senate district. Trouble is, we don't know whose districts they are going to be living. And thanks to the political and court wranglings down in Columbus, we may not know for a while. So on our program today, two candidates, different parties, different districts, who are pushing forward, believing that the legislative leadership in Columbus might someday get its act together. Ahead, the man who's gone from homelessness to, he hopes, the Ohio House. But up first, she burst onto the local political scene, having never run for public office before, to produce an impressive third-place finish in a 12-candidate field for Toledo City Council, the top 6 elected in November. Yes, just this past November. But Michele Grim has filed paperwork to run for the Ohio House from District 42, which covers a lot of the former District 46. Think Lisa Sobecki, who has chosen to run for Lucas County Commissioner. Ms. Grim, welcome. Nice to see you. Haven't talked to you, for on the record purposes since your election. So congratulations. See what being on Leading Edge does for you?
Yeah, I think I got the leading edge bump there. Thank you,
got
Jerry.
The bump.
I got the leading edge bump.
Michele, some people are going to say, why? She stops by City Hall for a cup of coffee and now feels that she's prepared to pass state laws in Columbus. You had to see that coming. So what do you tell those people?
So, well, Jerry, I've spent 15 years in the public health field, mainly working with community clinics to expand access to healthcare. So I have real world experience. I'm an educator with experience at the university level and in K through 12. So I sub for TPS. I've also stood up for safer communities as a rape crisis counselor and a gun safety advocate. And these are the issues that I've worked on my entire adult life. And wherever I can make the most difference, that's where I want to be.
So experience in the areas is experience. It doesn't have to be elective experience. You can be out there, on the front lines of this stuff. You have said, I believe you are exploring this race, which I found interesting. So I'm going to ask you up front, is there a chance you won't run?
So, Jerry, like I said, wherever I can make the most difference, that's where I want to be. I'm honored to serve on city council, but I think most people would agree that Toledo needs more help from Columbus than what we're getting. And that's why I'm thinking of running.
Now, you have talked about corruption down in Columbus. It has been called on our show, not by me, but by guests citing published reports, the most corrupt state government in the country. And, a $61 million bribery scheme in which several of the principals have already pleaded guilty would tend to back that up a little bit. Both Democratic gubernatorial candidates on my show are making that an issue in their campaign. But I'm wondering, Michele Grim, do Ohioans care? Is that issue getting traction? Is it connecting with them?
Yeah, I think so. There is a culture of corruption in Columbus. We still don't have fair maps. The Supreme Court has thrown out our maps twice because the Republicans keep trying to gerrymander those maps, and that's what we're yelling about. That's what we're hoping to get. And so you see it, the culture of corruption with House Bill 6, the massive racketeering and bribery scheme led by former Speaker Larry Householder. And then again, like I said, you see it with our elections. They're trying to suppress votes, and they're still trying to gerrymander, even though the Supreme Court still keeps throwing out our maps.
And what I find rich in that too, Michele, is that some people on one side are saying, well, why not just let the map stand, because now we're out of time. Well, now wait a minute. The time crunch was created by you, by not drawing constitutionally accurate maps or things that, fit the Constitution, constitutional amendment as voted on by 70 to 75% of us voted in favor of those. All right. So I'm going to do a couple of issues. We'll take a break and then we'll do some more. But let's do this. So the top issues you would carry to Columbus, should you be successful, would be, start with one.
So one of the top issues is expanding access to healthcare and make it more affordable. So we have a healthcare crisis in this country, and we've had it for quite some time. And that's what I want to work on down in Columbus.
Is that a state issue or is that a federal issue?
It's both. So, we want to make sure that we expand access to healthcare in the state and make it more affordable. I also want to pass common sense gun laws to protect public safety, like secure storage, universal background checks, and extreme risk protection orders, which I actually did my doctoral dissertation on. So I know a lot about that issue. Also, I'm looking ways to treat mental health and addiction as a top public health priority, and improving education, standing up for women's rights and women's health. And yeah,
I asked her the top of her list and she's giving me the list. Okay. I want to delve into guns is something I also wanted you on the show because you just made news recently, not too long ago, authoring some resolutions. Those are non-binding, but they are important statements of position at City Council. We'll pick it up. She is Dr. Michele Grim. She's a member of Toledo City Council and may well be a candidate for the Ohio House of Representatives. We're right back after this on Leading Edge.